Welcome back to the Crochet with Kelsey channel. Thank you for joining me today for my market vlog. So my market is actually tomorrow, and I usually take a little clip before I go, but sometimes I am realizing that I'm like about to rush out the door to be on time to set up for the market, and I'm like, oh shoot, I have to film my little pre-market clip. So I just decided to do it the night before to keep things simple. Also, I'm sorry that the lighting is horrible in here. It is nighttime and I just had the idea to film this video tonight. So the market that I'm going to tomorrow is called the LD Bell Craft Fair. It is at a high school that is in Hurst, Texas. So it's about maybe a 30-minute drive away from me, which is in my radius of markets that I'm willing to do. And I actually got into this market last year, last minute, because a lot of the people that were going to be vendors at it actually got sick last minute. I guess something was going around and I was on the wait list and I was luckily able to go. This craft show is apparently really hard to get into, so I feel lucky that I have a spot there. And once you do have a spot there, you can reserve it for the next year and so on and so forth. So this was actually my best show that I did last year. I made $900 in profit. The booth fee is only $125, which is really good for markets in this area. The average that I pay to be a vendor at a market is usually about $175. So it's a really good one in more ways than one. And I'm super excited to go to this event because I know that there's going to be good foot traffic if it was anything like last year. And especially after the pop-up event went so poorly last month, I am really hoping that I do well at this one. I also am not participating in as many markets as I did last year. Last year I was feeling pretty burnt out from just having to crochet so much. So it was actually kind of nice to not have to really prep for this market because I have plenty of stock that I've built up throughout the year. But at the same time, I'm kind of wishing that maybe I would have signed up for more markets just so that I could have made more money. But if this one goes well tomorrow, I would say that it's worth it for my sanity because I wasn't driving myself nuts just crocheting every second of every day. So I will tune in tomorrow, probably whenever I'm at the market, but I did want to show you guys something that I finished today. This might be posted on Instagram by the time that this video releases, but if you've ever heard the Christmas song Dominic the Donkey, I think you're really gonna like this. So I made Dominic the Donkey. This is going to be my December Patreon exclusive pattern, and I'm just really in love with it. I don't think I'm going to be able to give this one away. I might even try to find some way to put it on top of my Christmas tree. Is that crazy? But he has a removable hat and he has his cute little mohawk. And I actually made the eyes today too. And of course, since he's Dominic the Italian donkey, the Italian Christmas donkey, we had to give him a nice little Italian flag scarf, which just so happens to be Christmas colors. So I just wanted to show you guys that because I was proud of myself for finishing it today. And if you're on the Patreon, this will be releasing soon. If you're interested in joining my Patreon, it is $7 a month. You get exclusive content and you also get one free pattern a month. So for example, this is the pattern for December. Nobody else is going to have access to it and only my Patreon members do. So if you want to make a little Dominic, be sure to join the Crochet Collective tier on my Patreon. That is linked below. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Fingers crossed that it's going to be a good day, and I'm gonna make sure to get a good night's rest tonight so that I can be energetic enough to talk to people all day tomorrow. So the market started about 30 minutes ago and it's been a constant flow of people. I've already sold one of my more expensive items. I sold my little Ampharos snuggler from over there and the load-in process was quick and easy. So I'll update y'all in a bit to let y'all know how it's going. So it's about 11 o'clock now and the traffic has been consistent all day long. I am very happy with the amount of people, and whenever I took a little break to go to the bathroom, I actually couldn't get through the hallways because they were so jam-packed with people. I've been working on my sweater today in between making sales and organizing my booth, but overall, I'd say it's been a very good day so far, and we still have about 6 more hours, so hopefully this trend continues. I also bought a Rice Krispie treat whenever I was walking around from Nostalgia Bake Shop, so we'll see how that is later. So we have about an hour and a half left of the show today, and it's been very busy for most of the day. Probably the last hour and a half, it started to slow down a little bit, which is good because I was able to make some progress on my sweater. I finished both the front and the back panels, and I seamed them together. And I also started the ribbing on the collar, so I'm glad I was able to put a dent in that because I've been holding it off for a long time. I've been working on it for probably about a month now, so it was nice to get a little bit of that done while waiting for customers. So I'm about to show you what my booth looks like right now, and then whenever I get home tonight, I will record a video telling y'all everything that sold and how much I ended up making today. And although I haven't added up how much I made yet, I have a good feeling that it's gonna be a good amount. I know, I said that I was going to film the rest of this little vlog recap right after my market, but I was absolutely beat. It takes a lot out of you to just bring in all this stuff, set up your booth, be there for 8 hours talking to people. The market was from 9 to 5, and I woke up at about 6:45 to get ready for it, and it was a 30-minute drive there and back. So my apologies, but I am doing it now. The market was set up really well. They had a ton of students that went to the school volunteering for the day. So we literally pulled up to the front of the school and there were like 20 kids there whenever I opened my trunk, and they took everything to my booth for me. So it was really nice. We didn't have to do the back and forth from the car to the booth space like we usually have to do, which was very nice. So the setup was easier than it normally is. The school is giant and it was an absolute maze, and they actually came around and they gave us a little sheet. It had a map on it and all of the vendors that were there, and there were over 300 vendors. So this was a huge event, but also I feel like in that area, like the farther out from Dallas you get, it's a more tight-knit community. So the community really came out, they showed up, and it was really, like I said, a constant flow of traffic from 9 to about 3:30ish is when things finally started slowing down. I also learned that I have a pretty good spot because I was in the main hall and I was able to go walk around when Nick was manning my booth for a little bit, and I kind of got to feel out what the rest of the hallways were like. And ours seemed very busy compared to a lot of the other ones because it was right by an entrance. So I'm very happy that I had that spot, and I feel like I can attribute that to some of my success. Sorry, Max is knocking over the tripod. But throughout the day, I got to talk to a lot of different people. There were a lot of other crocheters that actually came up and asked me about what yarns I use, what hook size, how I make the eyes, and who I get my eyes from. So that was kind of cool. It's always fun to kind of share my experiences. And then I also met a fellow crocheter named Matt, and he was telling me about how he's kind of starting his crochet journey. He crochets action figures and they make unique packaging for each of them. So Matt, if you're watching this, it was great to meet you, but it's just really cool to be able to talk to other people in the crochet community who are kind of going through the same thing as you and kind of like trying to scope out the best markets and stuff. So that was really nice. And as you saw, I was able to complete a good portion of my sweater, which, like I said, is something that I've been putting off for a while. So it was nice to have something to work on and kind of make progress on while I was sitting at a booth all day. So now I'm going to go ahead and share everything that sold. Max wanted to pop up here to do his weekly appearance for you guys. And it's about his dinner time, so that's probably why he is doing this to me. So I ended up selling a total of 6 claw machine plays, and if you watched my last market vlog, I didn't sell any. It's a little embarrassing, but I didn't sell a single thing. So I'm glad that the claw machine is still popular. There were a lot of people that were looking at it and even commenting on how cute of an idea it was. So it was getting some attention, which I was afraid that it might not be popular anymore. So I'm glad that plenty of people played it this time around. And then I only sold 3 mystery boxes. So maybe that is kind of a fad that's dying out, because the last few markets that I've had, I haven't sold a lot of those, but I'm still probably going to sell them because I don't know. I think that it's good to have for people that are maybe a little indecisive and they want just something quick and easy to pick up and want to give them something that has a little surprise factor to it. And then my best seller for the market was my keychains. I sold 7 of my keychains, which probably isn't as many as I typically sell at a big market like this, but I'm still glad that I sold a few. I know I mentioned it earlier, but the day started off really strong because the first product I sold was my Amphro Snuggler. I don't know why, but I have such a hard time selling snugglers. I like making them because they're super cute, but I feel like a lot of people just are confused on why they're flat. And I tell people you can like prop it up over your computer monitor or your TV, or you can just like prop it up on a bookshelf or like wherever you display your plushies. But this person just really liked Ampharos and they had to buy it. So I'm glad that I started off with a $60 sale. I had a total of 4 Pikachu and Eevee plushies from Beckmade Studios pattern, and I sold all of those. So those are always really popular and I sell them at every single market. So I think that might be a new market staple for me. Almost everyone likes Pokemon, everyone can recognize the characters, and people seem to really like them. And it's nice because I can sell them at a $12 lower price point than some of my other Pokemon. Another item that sold out for me was my little dragons from Avalon Crochet's pattern. They got a lot of attention throughout the market and all 3 of them sold. So that also might be another staple for my $12 bin. I then sold a little dinosaur from Dee Dee's Plushies pattern. I had originally made those in all of the colors of the rainbow, and I think I have 3 left now. So that means I've sold about half of them, which is good. I then sold a little mushroom for my $10 basket. I sold my Piper the puppy, which was in my bargain bin. I sold a stingray stitchkin, which was also in my bargain bin. I then sold a little $12 possum, a $10 pickle, a $10 rainbow. I had 2 Demogorgon plushies. I had the tiny little baby Demogorgon, and then I had the larger one from Just a Mom Crocheting's pattern. And those got a lot of attention throughout the day, probably because of the timing of the 5th season of Stranger Things just releasing. And it was kind of fun to talk to people about if they're watching the new season, but both of those sold at this market. I then sold my little Mew from Crafted for Comforts pattern that I had showed y'all in the pop-up video from last week. I market prepped a ton of leggy frogs. I say a ton, but it was like maybe 6 to 8. And I've had them forever. I'm pretty sure I made them whenever I first started doing markets because that's kind of what was popular at the time. They were all over Instagram, all over TikTok. And I finally sold my last one yesterday, and I'm so happy because I was so sick of looking at them. For some reason I made it in pink, but I'm glad that it finally found its home because that's one of the plushies that I've had for probably like at least 2 years now. I sold a little $10 pickle. I don't know what it is about Christmas time and people requesting pickles, but I was able to sell both of my little $10 pickles that I had actually made last year because somebody at one of my holiday markets was asking if I had any pickles. So I guess people like hide them in their house or something for Christmas time, but I don't really know much about it. So if you know what the pickle Christmas trend is, please leave a comment and let me know because I'm still confused even after talking to some people about it. I sold a little car mirror charm of a chicken, and I finally sold my little Spiel plushie that I actually made before my Pokemon trading card event that I was a vendor at, and that one has actually been called Ugly at one of my past markets, so I'm glad that it finally found a home with a Spiel fan. I also sold my little Tanuki from DV's Plushies pattern. I sold my Darla the Dragon, which is a pattern that I tested so long ago. It seems like it's been so long, but that one I put in my bargain bin because I have had it for a while. I also sold a little fox by Mama Made Minis. Somebody wanted one of the little chicks that I have in my claw machine, and they didn't want to play the claw machine, and so I had some like not in the claw machine, and so I said that they could buy it, and they were asking how much it was, and since the claw machine is $7, I told them that they could have it for $6, so I sold a little chick for $6. I then sold my little cat from Mama Made Minis that was also in my bargain bin for $20, and I finally sold my Amara the Dragon. I had this blueberry themed dragon that I absolutely loved. It was such a cool make, but so much time and effort was put into it, and it had a lot of little details, and it was like a blueberry themed dragon, and I was really proud of it, but I've had it definitely for over a year, so I'm really glad that it finally found its forever home. I then sold my little hammerhead stitchkin from the Crochet Carpenters pattern that was also in my bargain bin. I sold my Buttercup the Bunny, which I have been holding on to for quite a long time. That was one of the first patterns that I ever released. I used to keep all of my plushies of my original patterns, like the one that I made while I was creating it, but I decided not too long ago that I needed to clear up some room, and I'm kind of starting to get rid of some of the older ones, not get rid of, but try to sell them. And I placed that one in my bargain bin, and it did finally sell. I then sold my Pikachu from Crafted for Comforts pattern for $30. I sold my Dolphin Stitchkin as well. I sold all of my Stitchkins that I had except for one of them. And I usually have a basket that's just for Stitchkins, but the basket wasn't full anymore, so I decided to move those items to my bargain bin. But people loved looking through the bargain bin, and it was very successful. Like, I definitely liked having the bargain bin because I feel like people are drawn there before they're drawn to like the $10 and the $12 items. So I ended up making more money from it, so I can't really complain. So if you've been thinking about doing some kind of sale basket or discount basket, I think that it's been very successful for me, especially because some of the plushies that I kind of wanted to put in there in hopes to get rid of were made so long ago, and I feel like my skills have gotten a lot better and my style is a little bit different now. So if you're in a similar situation and you just need to kind of let go of some stuff, then I would definitely recommend it. Never mind, I'm looking at my list right now and I'm seeing that I actually sold all of my Stitchkins. So I don't know if they would have sold if they were in their own little basket, but maybe being in the bargain basket helped them get the attention that they needed. I then sold my little cat snuggler that was in the bargain bin, as well as a little mushroom pop for a lady that actually has a Jeep. And instead of collecting ducks like people usually collect for the dashboard of their Jeep, she collects little crochet plushies. So I thought that was so fun. And it's really cool that she's supporting, oh my gosh, he bit me. And it's really cool that she is supporting small businesses. I also sold my little cursed penguin that I showed y'all in my last market prep vlog. And then I sold a reindeer snuggler and a goat snuggler, both in the bargain bin. And I'm laughing at this because I went to go walk around or go to the bathroom or something, and I came back and Nick had sold a few items, and we just kind of write them down on a little list like this to kind of keep track of how much I earned in cash versus not cash, and to kind of just keep track of what I'm selling throughout the day. And he told me he sold a black party cat, and I was like, black party cat? But it was the Mori the Vessel pattern from Not Magic, so I just thought that was kind of silly, but I'm really glad that that one sold because it is super cute. I then sold a little mouse from my $12 basket, and I sold my cute little dragon from Joyfully Meraki's pattern, and then another frog Carmier charm, and then a flower mushroom and a penguin ornament, and Pipsy the pig from Snuggle Beans Crochet's pattern. If you watch my vlogs, you know that I am obsessed with her patterns right now, so I'm really glad that one of them found a new home. And my last sell of the day was selling a little cookie that was part of a milk and cookies set that I had priced for $40, so I was like, okay, that's $20 a plushie, it's not bad, but I decided to put them in my bargain bin because I have had them for so long and nobody seemed interested in buying them as a set, so somebody bought the cookie for $15 on its own. So I'm glad that the bargain bin worked out so well this market. So here's the grand reveal that you've all been waiting for. In total, I sold $982 worth of inventory, and the booth fee was $125. So I made a total of $857 at this market. So last year I made around $900 in profit, so this is pretty on par with that. I'm super happy with it, especially considering how terribly my last pop-up event went. So I'm very happy. I already signed up to do this event next year, and I only did 2 Christmas markets, so I'm really glad that this one went well. But now I'm done with markets for the whole year, and it's time to plan out kind of what I'm gonna do next year. So I am getting married next year, and I have a few different trips and weekends planned. So I'm not sure when the best time to do markets is, but I might sign up for 2 in the spring, summer, and then maybe try to add 1 more to my winter schedule for next year. And I'm also hoping to do a Palm Street live this month. I have done 2 of them so far, and I do have a video about the first one that I did. The first one I did went really well. It way exceeded my expectations that I had for the app, and I was just very happy with the outcome. And then the second one, it wasn't as great, but I was still able to sell some items. So hopefully this next live goes well and I can kind of incorporate Palm Street into my market schedule. So I appreciate you guys watching. I hope y'all had fun on this little market journey with me. My next video is going to be about me preparing my holiday gifts, and we'll kind of see if I can get everything done in time. So I hope to see you in that next week, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.